Hi everyone. Thank you for joining me. Um, just welcome this part. The next part there will be the web technology. Just learning the JSF thing. We just ended with database implementation last part. We was able to save data to the database, and then this part we want to retrieve those kind of the information we save to the database to be shown in a list of the table. Okay, so that means we need to retrieve data. First, we're able to insert the data, and now we're going to read the data. That means we need to execute certain query, and then we need to return that kind of the list of that kind of the student of the information. We need to return the list of the students. Okay, nothing else. That's all. So how can we do the things actually in the shortest of time? So let us come here. Let us go in our NetBeans project. Just having let's close other from here. So we're just having this from the registration one. Now we're going to create another class, another JSF page that is responsible to grab the data comes from our database. Okay, that means JSF page. I'm going to say student list, and then click finish. You can see we do have this one only. We can go ahead and put the title. We can put styles and so on. We say it has used header one. We say student registered list. Or we can make underline, or anything can work. You can change the color to be blue. You can change anything by using the styles. You can say this one, let us call this one is going to be, of course, our home page actually. And then we can have, let us leave it like this way. Let us have student registered list, because now if we go ahead and then we try to go our browser, and then it said that's back here, it has removed this one, session ID, just say student list .xhtml. Oh sorry, it is student list .xhtml. You can see we have this kind of the only information, student registered list. Okay, we need to retrieve those kind of the list comes from our database. So now how can we do the things actually? Can you go apply the some styles and so on? So we just need what you call a data table. We need to have data table to be displayed. Okay, we can have what you call H, and they say data table, and then this kind of the table we just hit enter. So this one we have what you call, when you say data table, it means it is same as DT. Do you remember DT means in database? In the previous HTML, that means it is data table that we're going to work on. Okay, so you can have the header, you can have the value, you can have something, anything. Okay, let us have sample of them. And then you can move on and then you create some of them. Okay, so here you go. So now you can come here. That means for the data table we need the column. Okay, we can have the column. We say column. You can have column like this way, and then put like n, and the column, that's where you can put some data. Let us have put some information. We're going to check test for them. Let's say test. This one is going to be the name. Okay, let us have also another column. It does have another column. It's going to be H column. Another column, they're going to have all the kind of information. Let us say the student. So let us have 4 of them, and then hit enter. Let us oops, it has missed this one. Just the bad thing of copy and pasting. It does have age. It has this one, just putting 40. It has put 40, and then it has put the password, something like this way. Okay, we good. Now if we come here and then try to refresh the page, what's going to happen? You can see this one is not be able to be visible. Why? I just saved, and then I want to show something. You can see there is no value. There's no value. Why? The reason why the thing we're going to work on here, of course, we can set the column header. But before, let us put the column header. How can we put the column header? You can just use f.facet. Okay, specify the name to be header. Then you can go ahead and specify exactly the facet is going to be. Let us say it's going to be first name. So it's going to be the first name. So let us have this kind of the header. Let us just say, just copy and paste down here. This one is going to be last name. Let's have this one is going to be age. This one is going to be, just put anything, age, and then you say this one is going to be password. Okay, if we go ahead and then you try to do refresh, you can see we're just able to fill the first name, last name, age, and password, nothing else. We can go ahead and the table, we just add something here. We say column space. You can add some styles and so on this kind of the table, but I'll show you this one later on. So you can see we do have the things only, nothing else. We just have first name, last name, age, and password. So but this kind of data is not being able to be visible. Why? Because these things need to be retrieved from database. Okay, we're going to retrieve this kind of data comes from our database by specifying some values comes from here. So let us create them. We need to create this one so that can be automatically executed wherever, anytime. Okay, let us go to our registration. Our student managed bin here, and the thing will be updated later on. So we need to grab the list of the students. Okay, let us have down here. Let us get student list. So we need, of course, the public string get all student. We don't need to pass any kind of the argument. So if we need to return, we need to return what? We need to return the list, the class list. Okay, we need to return the class list, the student list, nothing else. We need to return the student list. Okay, so now this kind of the get all student, we need to pass. We need to send all those kind of the information. Oh, there are two possible ways you can use, whereby we can grab this kind of the information, or we can have a list of them, and then wherever we call this kind of the method is going to come up as all the information. So let me show you. Let us return a list of the list of them. It has imported them, comes from java utility.list. And then let us import them. Let us first import null, because return null. And then let us have the list of them. I'm going to have the same process. We just have that up here. That means trying to catch. Just catch something, catch all exception that can be raised. And then we say exception.print tag trace. Okay, and then under the try, we just create all the students, and then the try now going to first one. You will have to register the driver. Also after that, you need to create a connection. After this one, you need to create a statement. After this one, you need to execute statement. Lastly, you need to close connection. So here we go. This one that we're going to first register the driver. I'm going to just copy this one, because the same thing. Register the driver here. Also we have connection. Let us have this kind of the connection. There are way where you can just create this one, initialize them, whereby you call it once for all. Okay, and then you just need this one for the statement. Now I need to execute the statement. We need to have a SQL query. We need to select all. From table called student. Okay, and then select all of them. Now execute the query. This one I told you it have to return the result set. Okay, control space result set, and then it set as say result is going to be the result of them, and then it's going to be statement dot execute query. Okay, then we pass the that kind of the queries. Okay, now when you come here, so we just need to make sure this thing's working. Okay, so we're going to say while, going to have this one while result dot next. That means while it still have something, it's going to continue loop until to the end. Okay, while it has something, it's going to continue loop until to the end, wherever it's going to return a false when there's nothing remaining on the query being executed. So now we're going to have, let us have string. Of course we need string. We have the first name. Let us have string first name. I'm going to retrieve those kind of data comes from result dot. We need to get, I want to show something. Let us go to the service here. I want to show something. You can see we have first name, last name, age, and password. You can see the first name, it is varying character, that means it's a string. Last name, it is a varying character, is a string. Age, it is an integer, that means we need to get the integers. And then password is a varying, it is a string. That means for the first one, is I need to get string. Okay, after get string, you can specify, go ahead to specify exactly the first name, or you specify the position number. You can see this one is on a position, in position 1 position. You can see position 1, position number 2, position number 3. I can go ahead and say I need for the position 1. We good. That's how it works. And then also we can have string last name, and then say result dot get string number on the second position. Then we can have now integer of age. They're going to be result dot what get integer. Okay, you see we get integer, specify exactly where it's being located on a third, and then lastly let us have string password is going to be equal to the age result dot get string number 4. Okay, now we can see we just grab this kind of the information. Okay, we just grab this kind of the information. You can go ahead, and then we need to add all of them together into the list of the student. Okay, as long as we just continue to add the list, that means I'm going to initialize here. I'm going to show something. I'm going to initialize here. I need what you call list of the student, not something to return the list. That means we're going to use list. We say we can go ahead and then we say like this way student list, or you can leave it and say but it's a good thing, so that we say it's going to grab the student, the class we're working on exactly, to grab all those font getters and setters on, nothing else. And then we say student list, say student data, and then it's going to be new. We're going to use what called array list of them, array list of the student. We're good. That's how we initialize this one. That means this one, this kind of the list is going to grab all the information you need from the student, nothing else. That means from here, I'm going to create a constructor that's going to grab the data of the student. Then after grabbing this data, we add them to the student data. Okay, I'm going to have student. You can make it easier. Like instead of use string first name, last name, age, and so on, you can go ahead. I'm going to show something. Let me just comment this one. You can use it later on. I can come here. I say, let me just do like this way. You say student. I say stud, and there's going to be new student because our constructor doesn't have anything else here. You can come and say student dot. We need to set. You can set first name. The first name comes from where? From result dot get string. Okay, automatically to make things easier. Can you see? That's how I can grab this one automatically. I'm going to just copy so that I'm not going to continue to repeat each and everything. Can you say student dot set age? Let us continue. You can let us, for you not to mess up, let us say age is going to be number second. So let us have student dot set age, then I paste down here, and then this one is going to be it's not going to get string, it's going to get integer on third, okay, and then last is student dot set password is going to be result dot get string on fourth, okay, that's three. Now we come here, we just say we're going to use this kind of the student data. I'm going to say student data, student adult dot, we need to add exact this kind of the student we're done. So as long as this one, we want to, as long as continue line is going to continue add this kind of the information to this kind of the list. And then after this one, we're going to return what? We're going to return the student data. You can see this kind of the student data cannot be visible. So this one, we're going to see to be null. That means if there's no data being saved, okay? Now we come here, at the end here, we say return student, return the student data, the list of them, okay? Now we can before we return the student, we just need to close the connection. That's the last thing. We just need to close the connection here. We just need to close the connection. Con.close. I want to emphasize what I did here. We just come here. We just this one was the same thing. We just use this kind of the create to select all things come from the table student. We grab the list set of them. We create the list of them so that we can grab the list to be visible and then to be executed to be shown on a table. And then we try to use result the next. And then because this kind of the list, it has data type. It is of course list, data type of the list, but the only object that can be allowed to enter in this kind of the list, comes from the class of the student. Like if we have lecture, will not be saved here. So because it needs actually to grab only student information, nothing else. Next, so we do have from here, we create an object that is going to grab all the information comes from our database. It grabs all the information comes from our database. After grabbing all the information comes from our database, we use this kind of the add. This kind of the add, it add on append mode. It uses append mode. Whenever it found some information, is going to add at the end, till to the end, wherever it needs to the end, okay? And then now we just say, because this one has been under the try and the cache, that's where we need to return those kind of the information, okay? And then you just cross the connection. That's nothing else, okay? Now, if we come on under the project you do have from here, under the student list, you see this one, there's something you need to specify here. You specify exact the value. You need to specify the value. The value is going to come from where? Just like the same way we use student dot. You can see. Okay, as you can see, we have age all student. Can you see the all student? It return all the student is a list of them. Okay, it is a list of all the student. Let us back here. You see, just call it get all student. Okay, but we don't specify exact by using get. We just use what you call all student but in small letters. That's how it works. Okay, get the point? So great. Now we come back to the student list and then say all student. That is the reason why before this kind of the get, that's just getting the information. Okay, and then you say our students, we need to get, because we just use get, or if we say our student, is going to work no matter what. Okay, and then after this one, you need to specify also like this one, we need to create what you call for each loop. That means it's going to continue to loop until to the end. So we say val this kind of the value, we specify the value to use to access this kind of the information. Okay, nothing else. We can say this is a temporary variable actually. It has a temporary student variable. Okay, this kind of the temporary student variable, that means this one has been created temporarily, or you can call it student stud. Okay, or wherever the name you can use. Okay, no matter what's going to work. Okay, so because when I come here and then I specify using code, and then I do like this way, and then a student stud dot. student, we're going to use student. Okay. So as you can see, we can't get something. We should get like first name, last name. Let us see what's going on with student dot all student. The student. Okay. You just grab the student, just returning the student exactly. What data type? This one has data type of the student list, but it should have the data type of the students so that we can get first name and so on. So let's see student class student. Can you get all students? Or we can just for you not to mess up, let us just not use the get all students. So can have all students at the same time, so that we don't mess up with that kind of the get, because the get will be automatically removed, okay, when you're just calling it. So you have public list all students, or even you can put any kind of the name. So all students. I think now we're good. So now let us try to see if we come here. We see have all students. This is the method. Have students, all students. You can see we have all students. It grabbed the list of them. Now let us see. We come here, control space. You can see now we can be able to get the first name and so on. Okay, just come on first name. Also, let us just copy this one. Let me just copy and paste, remove everything we do have from here. So now let us have, this one is going to be last name, this one is going to be age, this one is going to be password. Okay, we good. Now let us run the program. By running the program, let us go to do and refresh here. Okay, all student not found on type of the model. It is called, it is function. We're just calling the function. Let us try to see. Okay, great. Now you can see we have we have all the information is saved to the database. Okay, you can use this way. You can see this way. You can use this way. Or you can see we are just calling the all student. This one, it returned the list of them. Okay, it is a method. It is a method we have from here. It's a method we have from here. It's just returning all the list information comes from database. Okay, kindly don't mess up with this one. That's how it's working. Okay, it does come here. You can. Okay, we have this kind of the all student, the function or the method, and then you say variable. This one is going to hold. Is going to be variable that are going to work on each row, and then continue. Okay, you see that's how we just listing the information come from our database. So let us make things to be reusable. let us add a way we can add the student again. Let's say a button. If you use button, you can say value. You can have the value. We say add students. So that's going to be called again another class. You can put the outcome. When you say outcome, this one is going to be what's going to be the cause. When the user click on the add student, where is going to come, what's going to happen. So let us call registration page. Okay, it has registration. This one registration.page, then we close. Okay, whenever the user click on add student, is going to call the registration page. Let us try to do refresh here. And then if user click on add student, it's going to call this kind of the class. Okay, even you can put another function, another things here. So when the user has been registered successful, or we can return automatically to the page. Okay, we go. Let us put something that's test student 1. Let's put the age. Say has 2 ages. Ages we say is between 18 and so on. Let us put 20. Let's put the password. Let us use this one. Okay, and then let us register. You can see this, the password that are being registered automatically created. I have my thing that I work from here. You can see we should not always come to this page, okay? We should actually go back to the list of the student, okay? Because if we try to go on this kind of the page, this one, let us try to refresh. Can you see now other page, I mean other guy has been automatically is down here. So you can make sure wherever we have this one under the student list, wherever we have those kind of the save under the student, we can call automatically. Do you remember under this one, wherever we're just calling the confirmation, you can now call registration, I mean the student list, okay? Student list page, okay? That's how can you do the things. As long as we call, we call automatically the student list to be called automatically when something happens. Otherwise, we remain on a confirmation so that the user will be able to save, nothing else, okay? Let us try to go and do refresh, and then let us do refresh from here. If I come here and then add the student, it has add the student, that's put test number 2, patient number 2, that's it, 25, and then it has put some password there, and then register. You can see automatically comes on this kind of the student list, okay? So now this is all the information we just needed here. So let us now try to add something else from here so that we know exactly what we're doing. So we're just able to retrieve data from database. The next one, we can do what you call the update and so on, and then we move on, okay? So let us work on the next part. Thank you. I hope you just grabbed all the information, all the things we did from here by updating, by returning the query, nothing else. Thank you.